Hey guys, we sincerely apologize for the delay in releasing our next video. We do appreciate your love and support in helping this channel grow. For those of you who are new to this channel, please click the bell icon to subscribe. Alright, here we go. What can a police officer, a lecturer, a CEO and a public official have in common? Well, you have to stick around to the end to find out. We are all familiar with the word corruption, and for us Nigerians, it is no longer a word we refer to in the dictionary, as you see it on the street, while watching the daily news, listening to the radio, glancing at the newspaper headline, or catching up on social media. So what is this word, and how does it affect our everyday lives? First of all, we have to start with the working definition of corruption. Corruption can be defined as a form of dishonest or unethical conduct by a person entrusted with a position of authority. Now, it should be noted that corruption can occur on different scales, ranging from small favors between a small number of people, also known as petty corruption, to corruption that affects government on a large scale, that's grand corruption. However, this video takes us away from grand corruption to street level corruption. Of course, we won't disappoint to reveal grand scale corruption in subsequent videos. On petty corruption, we take a bus to a university. On our way, the first lesson begins. The driver preparing for his journey does not have his complete papers and is carrying overload, and has to prepare a side purse for miscellaneous expenses. On our way, we are pulled over by the police for a routine stop and search. The police officers on duty receive these packages in coded handshakes, and where a driver seems to be uneducated in the art of preparing and delivering packages in the prescribed manner, the first lesson he learns is the phrase, "Park well." Meanwhile, we should also keep in mind that other vehicles could have armed bandits, but since they pay their dues in full, they get a pass on the stop and search, and we wonder why killings are going on. So we arrive at the university, eager to learn, and not just the courses alone. I mean, eager to study people, study our environment, develop world-changing ideas. In the course of our stay, we can't help but notice other things happening around us. Well, what do we see? We notice students attempt to bribe lecturers, or lecturers take the initiative to demand some sort of bribe from students. Of course, the bribe list, which is by no means inexhaustible, includes money, gifts, sexual favors, entertainment, employment, and political benefit. Also, during clearance, a student may be told by an office to buy stationery or anything he feels he can contribute to the welfare of the office. It seems to transform from a request to a demand when students do not have their receipts. Now my question is, what do these graduates end up learning as they collect their certificate? That giving bribe is the norm instead of what should be abhorred? Well, sadly, this is the lesson they take home. Stepping out of the university, we see the next form of corruption. This is known as parochial corruption, or as I like to call it, clan-based thinking. This can be seen in the recruitment process, where a person in charge of making certain appointments or recruitments does not tap into the whole of what society has to offer, but rather limit their scope of preference to a more familiar candidate. This could be an uncle, a son-in-law, a second cousin, and other forms. In Nigeria, we also see ethnicity and religion influence recruitment appointments in government. The problem with this type of corruption is that the nation loses out on getting the best of its human capital. If you take a look at many successful corporations like Apple, Google, Facebook, they have a policy which states that they do not discriminate based on gender, race, religion, or even disability. Part of the many reasons for this is because they understand that a good way to progress in life is by learning different perspectives from people with different backgrounds. The ability to practice this enables a person, society, or corporation to grow on a global scale, or as I like to say, you get to see the global picture. It's also a way to encourage participation from everyone in society. In Nigeria, despite our rich, diverse backgrounds, we still tend to discriminate both in public and private sectors. With a glimpse of corruption we see in our everyday lives, we can be interested in how we change things around. Before we do that, we might need to take a look at the causes of such wide-scale corruption on all fronts. You might need to pause your video for a second to have a good look. However, there are some other factors that affect the degree of corruption, from monopoly to discretion to lack of transparency and lack of morality. According to Stephen Constantine, the moral dimensions has an intrinsic and extrinsic component. The intrinsic component refers to the mentality problem. The extrinsic component to external circumstances like poverty, inappropriate work conditions, inadequate remuneration, and inoperable or over-complicated procedures which demoralize people and let them search for alternative solutions. So back to our question, A policeman accepts or demands bribe in order to let slide a road user with expired driver's and motor license, and by that singular act, armed bandits could be on the loose. The government loses revenue. Government also complains that revenue generation has been low. The welfare of the policeman and other civil servants, lecturer included, cannot be improved. A lecturer in the university could have a very sick child in need of treatment, maybe an expensive one. The lecturer is pushed to demand for bribe from his students. Incidentally, the son of the policeman is in his class. He can't afford to pay. He tells his dad, who complains about the system and how messed up it is. As they watch the evening news, the headlines about the public official in the health sector. To find out the rest of the story, stick around for our video on grand corruption. If you like this video, hit the like button. You can also share your thoughts on petty corruption in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe in order to get notifications on new videos. Thank you.